present their company. 4 minutes is really short, but it's really just to give you an idea of what the company does, and for you to be able to choose which of the two companies you will join in the Innovator Room demos later on. So we'll go through the four one by one, and after the four, we'll have a short Q&A session during which I'll ask Kevin and Max to react to some of these presentations, but also you may ask some questions to them. And after that, we'll move to the Innovator demos. So if we're good to go, I would love to welcome our first speaker today, Nadav Shuruk, who is the co-founder of Akibo. Can you hear me okay, Nadav?
Yes. Hi.
All right. The mic is
yours.
yours.
So yeah, thank you for everyone for having me. My name is Nadav Shuruk. I'm a co-founder at Akibo. And Akibo is developing smart robots for construction sites, and our first product, as you will see in a minute, is an autonomous robot for application of construction materials, mostly for indoor works, part of the finishing process of the construction. So we're dealing with plastering and painting tasks, and as you know more than me, they are very difficult tasks within the construction process, and some of the challenges are for example, lack of skilled professional workers, especially among the younger generation, leading to rising labor costs. There's a problem of low productivity and low quality of work, safety issues and the exposure of workers to hazardous substances and stuff like that. And of course, poor monitoring and quality control. So Akibo's solution is addressing all those challenges. Yeah, thanks. So this is a prototype of what we're doing, and our product is basically an autonomous wall and ceiling finishing robot that can work alongside workers in a job site and apply to wet materials. So the robot has some unique features. For example, it is built to work in the harsh conditions of a construction site. It can fit into doorways, elevators, and narrow spaces. It has 3D perception capabilities, so the robot generates its 3D model in real time, and this is one of our patents and core technology, speaking about AI and using AI in the construction. So this is what part of our usage. We're using advanced sensors for real-time feedback. We have a vertical axis that allows the platform to move from floor to ceiling and reach any corner of the building, and a synchronized control, and of course autonomous path planner and autonomous movement. And as you can see here, we have a robotic manipulator that is very accurate, like an industrial robot. Few words about Akibo and the accelerator. So the synergy between what we're doing and construction materials manufacturers is pretty straightforward, and as we think it's a very key element in our development. So what we're trying to do is to teach the robot to use the materials as the manufacturer planned it to be applied, and that's why we're in connection with manufacturer materials from day one. The value that we can bring to the LH Accelerator partners is in few points. One of it is the control over the application process. We can assist in monitoring the material consumption. Of course, we improve and automate the application itself and the application quality. And together we can create new business models for growth. For example, models that are based on selling materials and service of execution. Next slide, please. So our time at the accelerator was very valuable. We learned a lot about the market and the market needs. We've got to identify relevant materials for our robot, like skim coat and the premix materials that are very important to what we're doing, and we will talk about it later in the Innovator session. We tested materials with the LH and SICA's experts just before the lockdown here in Israel, and so we were happy to have visitors from LH and SICA, and we enhanced our network for future penetration to the European market, and actually we plan to ship our first model, our new model, to Europe for some trials with leading GCs right after this this demo day. Next slide, please.
Yep, and a heads up that you're over 5 minutes.
Okay, so our technology was already demonstrated, and as I mentioned, we plan to ship a robot to Europe in the first quarter of 2021. We're constantly looking for partners and funding and contractors to test our technology, and I will be happy to answer your question shortly. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Nadav, and encouraging people to meet Nadav in his Innovator demo to learn more. All right, our second speaker of the day is Guillaume Richet from Delair. Guillaume, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Welcome, Guillaume. The mic is yours.
Thank you. So welcome. I would like to present to you Delair, now Altea, because we just swapped name a couple of weeks ago. Delair is an AI-driven platform offering a comprehensive suite of tools to enable digital transformation in enterprise asset management. The company has over a decade of experience in capturing and analyzing imagery. The platform ingests and structures massive varieties of data from the field into a single source of truth and builds predictive models of industrial infrastructure. It facilitates the optimization of the entire operation lifecycle, mitigate risk, and deliver critical assessment in real time. Next slide. Visual data play an important part in any digital transformation strategy today. While capturing data is easier than ever with drones, satellites, smartphone, and IoT sensor, the real challenge enterprise face today is harnessing all the data so it's consumable, shareable, and actionable. So the AI platform answers this solution by providing a platform to aggregate all of your enterprise data in one place, generate and visualize digital twin from visual data, allow collaboration around those visual information, and finally analyze and extract business insights to make the right informed decisions. Next slide. So visual intelligence transforms key industry sectors today. For example, infrastructure. Linear infrastructure benefits a lot from visual data, especially for maintenance purpose. Indeed, we are able to effectively quantify and classify the risk related to vegetation, an example, in order to ensure the service continuity and optimize tree trimming and cutting. For construction, progress tracking, calculating cut and fills, and compare it to planning very easily. For agriculture, today we are using a dedicated sensor, such near-infrared camera, in order to allow seeds breeding company to assess performance between different seeds and help them select the more productive one. And finally, for mining and aggregates, we can monitor the safety and productivity of the site. Next slide. So let's focus more on the mining and aggregates industry, where customers are using the AI to extract business insight from visual data, such as safety compliance. The AI supports your safety roadmap with new actionable insight. For example, you can detect and visualize non-compliant situation and reduce the risk of incidents. Inventory management, we can automatically identify stockpile and calculate volume and tonnage. It allows them to deliver up-to-date and accurate information more frequently. And finally, for all road condition, we can detect all road issues and geometry, such as slopes, width, in order to improve productivity and cut cost on trucks and road maintenance. For the LH accelerator, we have worked on a POC to understand how visual data can digitalize and automate the dimensional quality control of the precast elements by removing labor-intensive manual inspection and reporting. So first, an operator collects imagery of the elements and uploads on the platform. We'll then generate a digital twin of the element using 3D reconstruction techniques. This digital twin will be compared to the design in order to highlight any deviation. Finally, a dimension QC report will be generated and stored on the platform. The next step for Delair and the precast company we have worked with during this accelerator will be to industrialize the data collection process to achieve a scalable and fully automated workflow. So thanks for your time, and we'll be happy to answer to your question during the Innovator session.
All right. Thanks, Guillaume, and indeed see you in the Innovator room to learn more. So next, I'd like to welcome Rodolphe Vogt, who is the CEO of Innovator. Are you with us, Rodolphe?
Yes, hello everyone.
All right, take it away.
Yes. So thank you very much everyone for attending this presentation. My name is Rodolphe Vogt. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Innovator. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about us, a little bit about what we've been able to achieve with the LH Accelerator. And hopefully it will make you want to come to the demo. So Innovator is a company who work on a mission to automate visual inspection tasks. And what we really want to do is to apply computer vision to real-world industrial application. So most of the time it falls into two main categories. The first one is quality control, when you have an operator looking intensively at something to find defects, count elements, or when you have an operator who have to monitor something, and it's a very tedious task because it can be looking for one thing who never really happen. So in those cases, we deploy smart cameras that can replace or assist the human eye. So the main point of our technology is to be able to work with small data. Since we're using AI, artificial intelligence, you need a lot of data to feed those technology. So we've been, you can stay on this slide, yeah. So because we work on small data, we're able to achieve quicker results than if we need to have big data. So we're working also a lot on reliability to make sure that we have robust solutions that can really be used in plants in many industry and not just stay at the level of a gadget of some sort. And we're working a lot with people of the business to have a domain knowledge and to really develop solutions that bring something and ROI for company. So on the next slide, you will see that we deploy more than 150 smart cameras. So mainly in the transport industry, for example, under train, where we look at defects on rail, in parking lots when we look at free parking space, or even in plants, like for example in the automotive industry, when we help to sort on conveyor pieces held by machine vision. So there is many different applications. And the one we work with Lafarge on the next slide, you will see, is the granulometry analysis by machine vision. So it's very important for the ready-mix formula to produce good material, to have the right parameters, the right information about what you put in the ready-mix. So what we've been thinking of is smart cameras that will be able to characterize the size distribution in real time on a conveyor in plants. So the expected gains will be to have real-time adjustment of the formula and also to have better classification in queries. So that's the subject we work on and that we'll be able to demonstrate to you. Of course, there is many other applications, but this one is very interesting because, as you can see, it's a big challenge, technology speaking. You have a camera that's looking at those aggregates, at those stones, and you have to detect and to identify them to be able to produce an information that is useful for the business, which is the size distribution. And you can imagine that's not necessarily very easy when you have all those stones that overlapping each other in different layers on a conveyor bed that's running very fast. So you need to have a technology in real time that is able to process that. So there is other application on the next slide that we think of. For example, counting of barrels and cubic meter to optimize stocks. To do quality control, sometimes it can be a cement bag that can be broke or something like that, and you need to find this one, even if it's happened very rarely. It's necessary to be able to detect that, or even to detect immobilization shocks in parking lots to be able to improve the safety. So as you can see, computer vision have a lot of application. So don't hesitate to come to the demo part if you want to see what we've done, and also if you want to discuss how this technology could be applied to your problem. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Rodolphe. And for our last presentation, I am really excited to welcome Kasper Harlev, who is the co-founder of SensorHive. The floor is yours, Kasper.
Hello, everyone. So yeah, thank you for joining the session here. My name is Kasper. I'm co-founder in SensorHive. Next slide. And we make wireless sensors for concrete. We started in the precast industry back in 2017. We did that for 2 years, and then in 2019 we We launched it for job sites, and the first year we were involved at more than 360 projects. And today we are counting almost 800 projects where we have been involved. So it's going fairly fast for us. Next slide. And this is how it looks on the job sites, where we have a small probe going into the concrete, measuring temperature, and also from 1st of January, humidity of the concrete. And then we are transmitting that data remote and wireless directly to the cloud. Next slide. And here is a portion of the clients that we have onboarded the last few years, starting using our sensors. So it's really been, broad, but especially in Europe, that has been our main market so far. Next. Yeah, and I also brought the last year's projects, the 360 projects. So as you can see, mostly in Europe and mostly in Denmark, our local market, where we have been really focusing our effort. Next. So yeah, we also luckily, just before the corona hit the world, we were at World Concrete, where we were awarded the most innovative products of the year. So we're glad for that, award. Next. So yeah, this is how the system works. We measure temperature and relative humidity in the concrete, transmit data, and in the platform we calculate concrete strength, concrete maturity, also starting predicting. So right from the beginning, their clients know exactly when they can expect the concrete to reach a certain strength. Our clients, they gain benefit of reducing project time. So right from the beginning, they know if their simulations is correct. And they can maybe reschedule if possible. Maybe they can also save some cost by removing formwork faster without any security or safety issues. For especially the big projects where you have a large reporting task, maybe you are required to do temperature readings. Everything is documented into PDF and Excel sheets in the platform, so there's no use of data loggers, uploading data, doing manual calculations. Everything is done by the computer. And then especially also for these mass concreting applications, there is a high risk of thermal cracks. But if you embed sensors, you at least have an ability to maybe do something before there is a problem. Next. So this is how the data looks like, or what our client sees is a temperature curve, the red one. The strength is the green curve, so no strength in the beginning, and then it raises. And then there can be different targets for the strength during the casting. So it can be maybe a surface treatment that can start on a certain strength. It can be a formwork that can be removed, and maybe we have a 28-day strength we also need. And then as the new stuff we are coming up with is our humidity sensor, demonstrated with the blue line on the top. So there is often no changes in the first 28 days, but it's often like a bottleneck process that comes later on, like 3 or 4 months after the casting. Next. So in our session, we will have Lafarge also tell a bit about the castings we did with them, especially in Mexico. We did most, where we tested the sensors against their different standard methods, and worked around with how a business model could look like and benefits towards a ready mix supplier. Next. So yeah, this is the agenda. Lafarge will tell first, then we will look at some of the data from a construction side. We will go through some use cases, and then we'll have to look at some of the new stuff, both the humidity sensor, but also looking maybe to some of the work that we are doing right now with our clients, using our sensors for more than just the strength data. That could be, for example, connecting strength data with the heating system on a precast side. It can be also optimizing the concrete mix, reducing cement content, maybe have another strength property, and how that could involve, like, in fact, the construction and the concrete curing process. So that's some of the stuff that we're working on with different clients. We can maybe have a look at during the Innovator session.
Okay, thank you, Casper, for that.